is probably just gonna like sit down in the corner.
I'll be sure to keep watch.
So we're resting for a bit?
I mean, unless you folks feel like we need to be anywhere particularly urgently.
The fairy coughs fitfully from the countertop.
Judging from how she's looking, I would assume that we, for Lucelle's sake, we should, rest.
Let's take a moment. DM, are we able to get a short rest?
You guys can absolutely start. What's everybody doing? Lucelle's sleeping on the counter. Zeke, you're just gonna sit, try and doze, or are you gonna?
Tending to my wounds.
Okay. Sheree, you said you wanted to keep watch. What does that look like?
Almost kind of keeping a hovered state over Sven, curious, as well as making sure that their bonds are well and tight.
Oh, I forgot to give one part of the fucking recap. Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Holy
getting
shit.
murdered, right?
He got stabbed with the arrow, and he succeeded on his saves.
He's gonna become one of us.
Okay. What about you, Zashi?
I just gotta pop to the bathroom and back in a second.
Recovering.
Okay, just curled up in the corner. You all sit down.
Yeah, probably trying to sleep.
Okay.
Or it's something to time.
All right. Okay. Cherie, if you're gonna stay in this room, give me a perception check. You are keeping watch, listening mostly.
Nice.
You can hear the loud sounds of a bustling city outside of you. You hear the faint echoes of the same coming back through the tunnel that you know has an opening on the other side, another front business, or perhaps a back business. As you're listening, there's no immediate threat that you hear, no marshaling of guard forces or shouted voices that seem to match those of the thieves that you've been dealing with for the last hour. What you do hear is more than once a person or group of people approach the door and seem confused or upset that the shop is closed. And many of them do simply like give an exclamation of distaste that you hear through both doors. But there is a single person, or perhaps group of people, all you hear is a single voice, calling loudly through the door as they're banging on it. Orvex! Orvex, I know you're in there! You promised me my order! Bang, bang, bang.
I'm gonna look around to see like something set aside as a basket.
Give me an investigation, because this room has been tossed a little bit. There was Zeke kind of threw this one dude around until he died. You see, I'll say 2 different baskets that both look like they have like a blanket wrapped over them. And you can see that each of them has like a paper note just like laid on top of it with a scribbled name.
I'll go over and take a look at that. Read over the name. Any particulars standing out at the moment as I quickly just scan the letter?
Yeah, one says Kian and the other says Crystal. One is clear. The one for Kian is smaller, a bunch of maybe. It's hard to tell exactly, but maybe a bunch of pastries or perhaps cupcakes or something like that. And the other one is larger. It has several long sticks of bread poking out of the end.
I'm going to subtle spell disguise self as Orvax.
Okay.
The old man who's at the counter.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to cautionary, since everything's close up, go out with the orders and go to open the front door with leaving the baskets on the counter like they're supposed to be there.
Okay. You go over and slide the bolt on the door, and you're free to open it.
I will open it up.
Orvax, you fucking old coot. Let me in. Paid good money.
Nod and just kind of like gesture at my throat and like, you know, kind of nilch, like can't talk right now. Kind of lost my voice.
Cat got your tongue?
Just nod. Like.
Quickly step over to the counter with the baskets. He sees the one with that is labeled Kian, and reaches for the cloth that like covers the top of it. Grabs it, pulls it off, and you see a fairly ordinary baker's dozen of muffins.
Give him a nod.
He'll look at you, look down at the muffins. You don't mind if I try one right now, do you?
I gesture for, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. He'll pick one up and take a large bite out of it, almost like ripping it in half with his teeth. And he chews for a moment, and you hear a loud, like, sound, almost like his teeth hitting each other. And he smiles, like, with his cheeks kind of pushed out because his mouth's full. Oh, yeah. That's a real good muffin. Alright, Orvax. Got my eye on you. Don't make me wait next time. And he goes to scoop up the basket.
I nod politely and wave this, like, kind of a air, like, and nod apologetically, like, yeah, lost voice for the moment.
Sure, give me a deception, just at this point. How well you're doing. What happened here? Never mind. I need to go get something to drink. Keep it together, old man. And he will make his way out and pull the door closed behind him.
Give a curt nod and go to lock up the bolt again.
Okay.
Just gotta keep up that guise for the moment. Peek back here, make sure everyone's alright as they're taking their nap.
You can see that Sven seems to be in like REM sleep. It's like murmuring nonsense, but just kind of and his eyes are darting back and forth under his lids.
Kind of just smile at that, curious as to what's happening to him. Sure?
Yeah. Are you doing anything specific? Because you said you wanted specifically to keep most of an eye on him.
Yeah, I'm kind of like watching where I stabbed him, like if that's closing up, like how my eyes changed, like seeing if his eyelids flutter enough to where I could see if his eye color changed as well.
They're not like fluttering. You can see that his eyes are like just moving pretty quickly back and forth under his lids. As far as looking at the wound, it's still there, but it's not bleeding anymore. But it's also not like scabbing over or anything like that.
Just be sure to cover that over.
How so?
A little bit of torn up cloth. Just make sure that his wound is covered over and put a little hand over it.
Okay. You reach down and you start tying this to his neck. As you do so, you tug and his head jerks slightly, and then almost in response, his eyes shoot open, and though he's bound, he reaches up with his two tied together hands and grabs hard onto your forearm. And you see that his eyes are a brilliant blue color. No white, no black, brilliant blue, the entire orb. Roll me a D100. Okay.
It's funny because I'm still looking like the old man too.
What's happening to me? On a 35. Roll me a D10. Okay. You see, as he is looking at you with fear, he looks like a younger man. And then you realize that his beard is falling out and his eyes are slightly larger in his face. Or they're not larger, there's just less wrinkled and lined skin around it. And then you watch his acne starts to bloom across this teenager's face as he de-ages almost a century. Or almost a decade. What did you do to me? Though you guys are all resting, it's definitely not deep enough that you're not at least stirred by his exclamation.
Buddy.
Lucelle's already awake. She's looking over, like perched over like a little gremlin, just watching it intently and giggling quietly.
That's I mean, you're alive for one, so that's better than most of your crew, bud.
Look at you, rapidly getting younger.
Younger? What do you mean?
You got the fountain of youth, kid. He got to live through puberty again. Isn't that wonderful?
Oh, wait, how old does he look?
He's maybe like 16, 17.
Yep, he's in puberty right now.
Let me go! What the fuck? I knew your motherfuckers were trouble.
Then you probably should have fucked with it.
Well, usually.
I mean, there's not much you can do about it now.
You might need to tighten his
Except
bonds.
maybe it's from the local high school.
I would say, Sven, you're not the worst businessman in the world. You just chose some unfortunate business partners. And if you wanted to continue business in these parts, just maybe under a different name with a different crew, I wouldn't be too opposed to that. And Twiggy here seems to have taken a shining to you, so I mean, that's better than her not liking you. Because she eats the people she don't like.
Hey, Cherie, you can technically be his mama now.
I think it could be most.
I feel like there's some weird edible shit going on here, and I'm not going on it.
Fuck. Can I maybe? Is there a way I'd be able to tell if this is like a-
What do you mean? His like eye color or his age?
His age.
You could roll Arcana if nothing else to see what you know about magical effects of this nature.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
$22. Alrighty. While there are quite a few curses that you know of that can age a person before their time, this kind of magic is usually sought after, and it's very few and far between. Very few magical effects can grant life beyond your time. You're not sure what would be able to give him his age back, but you're also fairly certain that he just tapped into the raw weave of magic. This is if what you do as a wizard is akin to building a aqueduct to channel water, what he's done is stuck his hand in the ocean.
My God, this is
Yeah, this is
insane.
wild magic.
Cherie, I do believe you've aged this man back 10 years.
I guess you're welcome.
Hey, Cherie, we're definitely gonna have a little exchange tonight, so I can send this weirdness back to my folks because they're gonna get a kick out of this bullshit.
Cherie, nobody wants to be
Put me
16
back!
again, is the thing.
I don't think she can, sis.
I can't
And
drink
I am really
anymore.
sorry.
Let me go!
No.
You come in here, you kill everybody, you make me younger. The hell you people want? My voice is
Yeah.
cracking.
Man.
What the fuck?
Buddy, let me just put this in perspective. You were already committing like some pretty serious thievery. Do you really think underage drinking is what's gonna get you?
I mean, it just makes everything harder.
Hey, think of it
I
this
mean,
way.
by a little bit. Just
But
wait.
he was a late bloomer, wasn't he?
You got think of it this way. You got a new start. You got a new start, and you got
Actually, yeah,
experience
this is a
working
good
with
point.
You got experience working with it now, so you know what to do
Oh.
better.
Folks ain't gonna recognize you as easy, which is probably good because I'm imagining quite a few people's had beef with your crew.
Imagine all the years of a swindler with a fresh slate.
So
He does.
you're gonna let me go?
He's not.
I mean, it depends. Are you
Here it comes.
gonna be telling anybody about this?
Telling who? There's nobody to tell. You killed everybody.
Hmm.
Nobody would believe him anyways. Just look at him.
I mean-
like,
Would be the wild story.
nobody's
Yeah.
gonna believe that he aged back. Once he mentions that, it's over for all the other things he claims.
I'd just like to have a man's word so that I can hold him to it.
I mean, you do have some skills in this kind of jewelry shit. You might want to talk to the jeweler that you were pissing with. He might give you a job.
I'll pass on taking a job from somebody I stole from. Well,
Well-
we stole from.
You got nothing. Your crew's dead, and he's got his stuff back. So I'm sure he's got no beef with you as long as you say, "Hey, I'll work for you."
You let me go. I'm gone. I'll find another city.
Why waste the effort? You got somebody you can work with, and you prove that you're reliable enough to get shit done, even if it was against him.
Honestly,
I don't
Mr.
think that's-
Staley seems a little vengeful. I don't know that
I don't know.
going to him the best of ideas. Maybe just ply your trade. Do it a little, quieter this time, less noticeably. And
If you haven't blown our cover here, then we'll no. There's no help in telling anybody.
Everything
Yeah,
is
we
very
haven't-
hush.
Yeah, we didn't. But the front is still a bakery, and the guy that was at the counter, he ain't dead. So if you guys work together, I guess you could possibly keep this place going.
He's looking at all of you like, what happens now?
Stop being an asshole.
well, yeah, and maybe we come back, get some bread, see how we're doing, and maybe you can be a fence for us sometimes.
Whatever. I'll agree to whatever I have to. Just don't kill us.
A bit curious if you have
Eh,
no extra
I mean-
stash right?
I mean, the
We done
killing only
killed
happened
enough,
because
dude.
he was attacking us too. We were just trying to get in to get our shit back. Just saying.
Well, someone else's shit back, but
We were.
yeah,
It was technically our shit because we were responsible for it.
I feel like that's semantics. But by the way, Host is dead, and you're probably the most highest-ranking folk around here, so you know, do your thing. Maybe do some remodeling of the system, and just be a little smart about it this time.
Did you get everybody?
Most folk. I think there was one or two folks who got away. Just the one folk actually.
Yeah, if you could tell us where he would be trying to hide up afterwards, we'll take care of him for you too.
Depends how scared he is, I guess.
He was just a fast fucker. He wasn't tough or scary. The tough scary guy, he's dead.
He seemed pretty scared though. I
Might
I will say
clean
it
out
was
of the
quite
city.
amusing to me, even in my mindless rage, that he kept bumping into me as he was trying to escape.
Well, he either hightailed right out of the city, or he went to go, let her know.
Oh.
Let who know?
That sounds about right.
Our friend in the city.
Hmm.
I have a message.
No offense, I gave you guys some bad info to send you to her.
Does it happen to be an herbalist woman?
She ain't no herbalist.
Yeah, I figured that much.
Alright.
Anyways, I got something to drop off at her place, and I mean, just to clarify, she's some weird, fucky magic bullshit person, or like not a person, or
Look, I honestly don't really know. The master was in charge of to deal with her, and we're just supposed to send her, outsiders, people that aren't from here, give them information that sends them in her direction. People won't be missed, and she stays out of our hair.
Okay. Well, I do have a few questions that may be relevant if you might be able to answer them. How many more folks has she got with her? What kind of toys they brought with them? And where they might be in her general vicinity? Just if you have an idea about that stuff.
She's all on her own. I
Usually.
hear she's got some family in some of the other cities, but
Okay.
she came here all by herself.
Okay. So she most likely have traps and maybe some bodyguards hiding around her.
originally I
can't
was
say.
thinking that I just wanted to leave a message, but maybe I might deliver it personally, because I didn't imagine she was quite as involved as they, and she might have some goodies.
We still got to get the rest of them gems back.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, and it's just sort of like finishing, like binding some of his wounds, and once I've cleaned up a little bit,
Mhm.
and
Well, Sven, thank you for the information. And like I said, I think you and the Mr. Bodyguard or Mr. Mercenary over there would be just fine with this bravery.
Honestly, he seems like a bit of a prick. Maybe you run it.
Yeah, okay.
Also, just so you know, your eyes is like full blue. So just letting you know before you look in the mirror, so you don't, explode or something with fear.
What do you? What? He like starts looking
your
around for
eyes-
something metal to see his reflection in. Just like a big
The-
dish
the-
on the
the
table. He like starts to reach for it.
He's
So-
gone full Fremen.
They're all blue, just so you know. So if people's looking at you weird, that's probably why.
He looks into it and screams and passes out in fear.
I
Zeke-
fucking told him, and he still did it.
Zeke, you're the best. You make the best shit. It's great.
Look, it's not my fault that the world is full of idiots. All right,
He's not an idiot. He's just a kid.
Now,
I just apparently know how to find them.
Very interesting perspective.
Who was that?
Very interesting perspective of calling him a child, none.
I mean, I know he's still an adult, but it's fun to say because he's a kid.
I don't know. I mean, we'll leave these folks here, and I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, the threat is past. I think we should just go take care of that old bitch.
Yeah. Everyone just about to partially recuperated.
I made
You
sure
still
to
looks
keep
at-
watch.
Looks at one of the cuts on her arms and kind of like looks at it. And
Pushed
goes,
into the DM, I guess.
Look, still working on it. Ugh. How much longer till the short rest is up?
I'm just gonna wait until you guys are finished with this conversation with Sven.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're good.
Okay, right around here is when you guys finish your short rest. Feel free to roll as many hit dice as you would like. Back your spells for the warlocks. Get your different shits. And yeah, Zashi, you were able to tell Cherie that what she did caused this person to perhaps gain sorceress powers. The one heard round the world.
It's beauties.
Alrighty, folks. I think I have plugged the holes that were not supposed to be there.
Okay.
We recuperated enough.
I would say I'm
Sparks, you
making sure I have
need
the
a
rest
hand
of
with
my
that?
counts.
You still look like you're got some more holes that you don't supposed to have.
Get it,
Babe?
36.
People are talking to you.
Shall I repeat?
Yeah.
You
Yes,
Good
please
day,
repeat. Sorry.
you still look like you got some holes that ain't supposed to be there.
No, I'm all good. I'm out of character. I'm at 45 hit points. I'm all good.
Okay, because on the token thing it says you're at half. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, Lucille was like through a measure of like bandaging and using light amounts of healing magic on herself. She finally patches up her injuries. She's still got like a mark from the garrote that was on her neck. She still looks a little rough, but she's finally patched herself up. She's no, it looks like death warmed over.
Alrighty. I think we go get paid, and then depending on how town's looking as far as heat, we could spend a night and then go back to our herbalist. To be clear, that was, in quotation marks. And yeah. Then we head on our way.
That'd be good, as long as there's not too much heat.
I wonder if there's a bounty on these guys.
I would say that's possible, but
Collecting is probably a little problematic right now.
I think the only one who
Yeah.
could legally would be Steve.
I'd say we do the bit that we had previously organized, and then we can consider further endeavors. But I don't know if interacting with that's the best idea to start with. I think we get what we can, what we came for,
It's
and
too greedy right now.
then if something goes wrong, then we can just bolt, and we still have our stuff. Alrighty, let's go on.
Alright, are you guys just gonna troop out the front door, or?
Maybe we go out the back. So yeah, I guess exit from the other building.
Okay.
I'll give it some space.
It seems like you are all lost. Down this way here.
Towards the hole in the wall.
Okay, Cherie, you're the last one in the room with these two boys. What horrors?
These two boys.
What horrors will you visit upon them?
I mean, I could. But I feel pretty
But you don't have to.
Yeah, I feel pretty satisfied, and the front is still needed. I'll just gladly take out a dagger and toss it between the two of them to see whoever wakes up first will probably free themselves.
Okay. Out of curiosity, whose ropes were used to tie these people up?
I think it was Lucille's.
Okay. Subtract your rope. That's getting left behind.
What?
All right.
That I will wait a little bit, as aforementioned, kind of spacing between us, and then take my leave a little bit after.
Okay. Does the party? You guys all make the three of you make your way out, and Cherie doesn't immediately show up. He's gonna wait for her, or you guys?
Hey, Wigs, are you coming? Just sort of.
I imagine we would wait.
You can go on ahead of me. I will be keeping pace, probably visiting the wet socks again to play once more before leaving.
Right, but if folks come back, that's on you.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, just scream real loud if you get it being killed.
It might not be me screaming.
All right.
Jesus Christ, let's go.
Alright, you guys exit the building for here.
I thought the Marquis de Sade was bad. There's Cherie.
Alrighty, let's go on.
At your service.
And Yeah, I'm thinking we just go straight to the scalesman.
All right.
If y'all good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel free to move wherever you guys are going on the map as you're making your way around.
Taking a detour through the Golden Garden.
So, Lucille, you're gonna. Cherie wanted you all to go ahead, so
Okay.
I'm not sure what was
I
happening.
mean, I thought I could assist her in case she needed to get bounced. I could cast invisibility on us, but I can stick with the group.
Right, but again, that none of that was reflected in the roleplay. So what?
Oh, my bad.
What is happening?
I know.
Yeah,
I'll get with the group. Where's the group at?
I don't know. Zeke said he wanted to go to the merchant district.
Okay,
And
now I'll stick
Cherie
with
said
Zeke.
she wanted to wait for everybody else to go ahead and do her own thing. But
Yeah,
you
I'll
guys
stick
are all
with
your
Zeke.
own character. Do whatever you want.
Where is Zeke at?
Merchant district number 12. Straight north.
Okay, there it is. Thank you.
My damn map is doing this thing where it scrolls down when I try to do anything, so I can't move my token.
Right click anywhere on the map.
Ah, thank
All right.
I am a chronic hanger-on of Zeke. Weird, the quartermaster hanging on with the captain. That's crazy.
I have a fun map as you guys make your way into the merchant square. And you would recognize the salesman here. This Yuan-Ti man.
I don't think it is the same one, but this reminds me of the map for the first Sunless Citadel mission.
The Dine Sing Night Market, yeah. It is very similar to that one in like the colors and the shapes.
And I'll sort of wander up with the what is it, a chest or a sack of gems, or what's the?
They were in a chest. I believe you guys took them out.
Yeah,
Of the chest. and
I
did
would
not
have wrapped
bring
them
the
up
whole
in
thing.
something, I imagine. Yeah, let's say wrap them up in like a cloak.
Okay.
And I'll come up to the salesman. Hello, friend.
Back sooner than weeks.
Yeah. Funny thing. I just bumped into one of them, followed them back, and turns out it was a lot quicker than I thought it might be to sort things out. So, might I come inside?
If you are to return my goods, that is business that can public.
That and then some, yeah.
He will say, I close my shop very much for you. And he'll smile and start packing things up. It takes a few minutes. Lucille, you're over there with
Is that
Zeke.
euphemism? Or I don't. Never mind.
Zashir, you wanting to explore the rest of the...
Yes. I want to see if anybody is selling any like spell scrolls and or magical items.
Yeah, you can absolutely look around. In terms of magical items, what sort of things are you looking for? Like things like for a household, like a candle with the light spell cast on it, a pair of like needle and thread that have mending, or are you looking for something more like a staff?
I guess probably more the latter.
Okay. Give me an investigation. Oh wow. You see a fresh tent opened up in the center of the square. with a well, if slightly eclectically dressed man holding court to a pair of onlookers. He's displaying a cloak that seems to be shimmering and flapping despite there being no breeze. You can make out some other items on the table: boots, beads, bottles, other cloaks, what looks like a stuffed doll or bear, a helmet, a case of like earrings and things, and to your eye they all have a slightly other than normal shimmer to them.
Ooh. He has how many items? Sorry.
It's hard to say. I mean, he has quite a few things on display.
What? Got it. Is there anything that catches my eye?
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of. I just described a bunch of stuff, but then they're like, are you looking for something specific? Like, he clearly has magic stuff, so you could walk over and interact with him.
Yeah.
Okay, you step over and he is showing a set of scale mail that he's pouring what looks like dirty oil on, and it's just sliding off onto the ground, not marring or tarnishing the metal at all. You'll never have to clean this for a single day. It is truly the greatest and latest innovation in armor. Gleams, doesn't it? He holds it up to the light and it sparkles brightly.
Yes, it does. It does gleam. Do you have any amulets?
Of course. What are you looking for? And he'll pull out a pair, one that's like dark and black, and another that it seems to be several interlocking gears, that like clicks and whirs.
What is that?
This is a clockwork amulet. It is attuned to the plane of Mechanus, from where our great artificers learn much of their craft.
Wow.
Here, put it up to your ear.
Huh. And I listen to it for a moment before returning it back to him. I don't have any specific desires. I'm just sort of window shopping.
Perhaps for you, and he'll pull out a classic wizard hat. It's code shape, adorned with gold crescent moons and stars, and is bright purple in color. For a discerning spellcaster, unless I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
It's an excellent looking wand. I also buy if you were looking to sell. And he looks at your magical armor and wand. Was the wand not your casting thing?
No.
No, what do you
It's
use to
always
cast?
in the book.
Oh, my apologies. He's looking at your spellbook then.
I think I'll keep my spell book. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So it's a hat of wizardry that he has?
It appears to be.
Okay, that one's fun. Fuck it. I'll buy the wizard hat.
This wizard hat will run you 25 gold.
And with my coffers full, that's nothing but chump change. I count out the 25 gold.
All right. You do so. I will make a little handout for you for your hat of wizardry. Is there anything else I can interest you in? Always down to have a good sale.
Apologies, I'm consulting my brain full of thoughts. My brain full of thoughts.
Nice.
I think I'll just head out and find my two compatriots again. But thank you so much for the kind business.
Of course. And he pulls out like some kind of blade that straps the underside of your arm and begins hawking it to a pair of people that are walking by.
Damn, he's quick with that.
Gotta be on it. You make your way over, you see Lucille standing outside. Zeke and the salesman have gone inside. Zeke and the salesman, you've gone in to the tent. He's offered you the very small stool and once again sat in the nicer chair.
So,
You retrieved my stones.
yeah, most of them. Couple still missing, but I get the sense you cared a little bit more about well, let me just, and I will take the head that is in the wrapped up cloak, place the cloak on the table. Shall I unwrap the present for you, or?
She looks at it and will just take it and place it off to the side on the ground. There is no need. How
Alright.
many of the stones did you retrieve? And what?
Here, and I'll just lay them out.
Okay.
I
If
cannot
I'm,
personally recall exactly how many.
it should be in the hold, like the treasure, but I believe you got 7 more.
That sounds about right.
So the 3 that you purchased, you've gotten half of the total back. He's willing to give you 190 gold for this.
Lovely, thank you very much. And would you happen to know if any of these folks had a bounty on them? Because, I mean,
I
might
did
as well
not
double it.
alert to the authorities, though I am surely not the only one who has been stolen from.
Sorry, I didn't catch that first bit.
I have not alerted the authorities myself. I cannot say.
I suppose it's worth asking about, but yeah, I've just been thinking because sometimes they take heads, sometimes they take ears or fingers or personal effects. I don't know what the tradition is in this place, but appreciate doing business with you, and I'll let you know if I come across any more shinies.
Very well. And he'll lead you back out to the front. You notice this time that his wagon that you've had these meetings with him is no longer on blocks, and there is a pair of oxen. And as you return these stones to him, he starts loading what little things he has into the wagon that are still on display.
Might I ask where you're headed?
To visit a friend out of the city. Give them the good news. I had intended to visit on a less beneficial note. This will be gladdening for them. And
Well,
he tilts his head in such as a way to suggest the bloody bundle.
happy to make him happy.
Closes the back of the wagon and pulls like a chain across and locks it.
Yeah. So did he want the head, or was he happy just for me to show it to him?
He wanted the head. He took it. So
Okay.
long as unless you are unwilling to give it to him.
No, I'm willing to give it to him. Alrighty. Well, fare you well, and as I said, look forward to potential business.
He'll nod again.
Hey there, crew. You find anything you want around here? That's a fancy ass hat. Anyways,
I tip my hat.
how ready are you feeling to go and have a chat to the quote unquote herbalist, and how are we feeling about maybe going and asking if there's done been a bounty on some of these knife folk?
Hey, something. I'm sorry.
Please.
Oh yeah, we was like looking around. We just looked past the hat as people were approaching, and I guess that's when you because they're approaching pretty quickly. So.
Yeah. You guys look up and see several different colors of uniforms of the Gelarian militia marching down. The lead one in a heavy mechanized artificer suit of armor, and you hear a voice call out, "That's them! Arrest them! They came and attacked me! I can tell they struck at my favorite bakery shop!" And you look across to see a bruised looking purple tiefling with a torn robe that she is holding clutched to her chest as she points towards the three of you. And you see the artificers begin to make their way towards you. "Stop there! You're wanted for questioning!" And they start to
Just
split
like quick
the...
moment, look at the others. Are we bolting?
Now, there's no reason for all of that. It's pretty clear that we don't know this woman.
Uh-huh. Let's see those hands. No quick movements. Come on.
I mean,
If you're innocent, you've got nothing to hide.
I look to the others and I start to raise my hands.
We did bump into. Might I get something from my bag
No.
to show you? I was just figuring, you might like some.
Hands
Some food.
now.
All right.
Put your hands up, or your paws, or whatever.
Yeah, I just could have sort of like raised them to about head height. So, just to make things clear.
No back chat.
God, I hate the cops.
So you don't want me to tell you about them hidden knife folk, or
The red armored artificers walk up and they have these heavy looking contraptions with a long barrel and some sort of canister slung underneath the bottom of it that they sling up, and they immediately start to try and put manacles on Zashi and Zeke.
Sudden urge
You
to
should've been one
summon
of
lesser
them.
demon.
And as you look over, you see the salesman is making himself scarce in his wagon as he disappears. We'll figure it
Is
all
that a
out.
big one of
Come,
them?
just bring you down to the jail. You'll get questioned in turn. No talking, no coming up with stories.
Can we know what we're arrested for, please? Because it started with questioning and now I have manacles.
Assault of a townsmember, destruction of property, murder.
Well, I never.
Uh-huh. And his big lion claws didn't have nothing to do with the men we found dead at the bakery.
I'm
I
not
have no
lying.
idea.
You guys are hearing like a continuous wailing of "That's them, those criminals! They attacked me for no reason, took my livelihood" from the tiefling herbalist.
Your livelihood, you don't do anything.
Look, let's make this.
All right.
So are you questioning us now? Or
No.
are you just gonna let that lady babble on? Like, what's happening?
They finish putting manacles on Zashi and Zeke and start putting them on Lucelle. You're coming down to the station with me. We'll figure everything else out there.
Alright, but I got business to tend to, so we best make this quick.
Is there anything that you guys try to do as they begin to escort you to the jail?
Lucella is telepathically telling everybody, pretty sure the tiefling was the old lady, and she's using the legal system against us.
Thanks, Lucelle. You're.
I will now ask at this point, Cherie, they were shopping for maybe half an hour. How long were you performing for before you were going to try and meet up with them? Or was that going to happen at the ship?
I figured probably at the ship tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I was going to play at the park and then go to play at the Wet Sox Inn again for another night.
All right.
Because I remember Zeke saying, like, oh yeah, we'll leave tomorrow. And I'm like, okay. That means I can get another show in.
Okay. So the three of you, who did not resist, I'm proud of you. Proud of all of you. Good job.
I was
Not fighting the police. Are...
You know, usually I might, but when they're in fucking power armor, maybe best not.
Also, we would have caused a diplomatic incident in the town we just established good relations with.
Did we though?
I'm gonna fucking ruin that tiefling bitch when I see her again. No, I hate a snitch. I can't with that.
Okay, you guys are brought to the jail. I will show you the map that you are going to currently be on. You are processed by a higher ranking artificer, also with this fully mechanized suit of armor that you see has more than a few releases for steam and other gases to come out of, and are eventually placed in the large holding cell. Not a proper overnight jail cell that you can see across the way. You're not manacled or tied down as you're put into this cell. While you can see out of it, you are not able to move or get out. The dynamic lighting should reflect that. You can actually get through the bars.
How big are the bars?
It's like a mesh system, maybe half a foot space between them.
Okay.
So, and that is what happens to the three of you, as you are maligned to the local authorities. Cherie, you have no idea that this is happening.
Sadly,
How's the playing in the park going?
I mean, I'll hit that fat performance check.
Please do so.
Well, it's quite jovial at the time because I don't know what the fuck just happened. Oh no. You know, I'd always. Should. Yeah. Sure, why not once per? It's a little better.
Okay. You are playing, and though you are not playing poorly, I would say your heart's not in it. You're thinking about Sven and everything that happened with him and the implications therein of the ability to waken someone to the magical world. And it's also as if there's a shadow on the day. It's bright and sunny, but maybe the combat earlier, maybe something else is wrong. You can't shake this feeling that staying here, being here is bad. Yeah, something's wrong. It definitely reflects in your performance.
Probably pack it in for the time, and then start making my way leisurely, enjoying the districts and the garden. Then go towards the what's in, so I could probably have a bath and relax.
Yeah. Okay. What's your passive, Shuri, as you're making your way through the city?
13, so pretty good.
Okay. With a 13 is low enough that I'm going to say high or low for favorable results as you're moving through town.
Low.
Okay, roll me a d20.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, there is the sounds of conversation, but it is all mundane as you're making your way through the city towards the inn. And you're able to reach there after not too long and set up your usual deal of a night of food and drink paid for by your performance, if that is what you so wish.
Yes. Get a nice hot bath as well. Enjoy the company of the barkeep that I'm quite familiar with.
Okay. Yeah, you make your way in. He greets you, tells you that he's glad to see you, safe, today.
Oh, I would imagine that'd be fairly safe. This place is extremely well guarded.
Oh, yeah, what I mean is that, some said that there's been attacks in the city. Last 2 nights.
That's honestly terrifying.
People were killed in the street.
That's awful.
But supposedly they caught the people responsible. We'll find out.
That's honestly excellent, then. I'm quite surprised. The efficiency, I've not seen or heard of anything, so I guess it was cleaned up without issue.
Oh yeah, the militia's real on it, especially so close to the front. Any strange characters are detained for questioning on any suspicion. Depends what they did, but they'll probably get thrown in. Well, Wolfstone's not run by us anymore, but we'll find some place for them. They'll spit in the spittoon.
Wolfstone?
Oh yeah, real big prison island over.
Shuri's like, wow, no way.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with a lot of places around here yet, but glad I didn't arrive there on my first trip here to the Midtown.
Me and you both. Then I'd never get to hear your pretty singing. Oh, excuse me, and he goes over to fill drinks for another group of people that made their way in just now. And you are able to perform and hang out as long as you wish. Unless this conversation has made you suspicious at all. But that is not for me to know.
Honestly, especially for her past experiences you've read, very calm demeanor. This is another rotation of Cherie's day, especially back in the day. So, let people be placated. But she will proceed with her performance for the night. So, but yeah, definitely worried about. I think I would probably ask at the end of the night, like, who was caught? The town gossip fascination.
Yeah, I would say probably later in the evening you would start hearing about the stories of the 8-foot-tall Leonin, the woman who walked as a pillar of fire, and a terrifying fairy who was trying to enchant everyone around them as they were brought in.
So would have been the halfling at that point.
Yes, these are the stories that are being passed around by the city, the rumor mill, that gets more and more wild with each telling. And as you're hearing about these strange ne'er-do-wells, we'll say around 8 or 9 in the evening, we'll cut back to earlier in the day. Lucelle, Zeke, Zashi, you all have been languishing in the cell for a few hours at this point when the door creaks open and you see the lieutenant in the heavy armor that arrested you all come in. He'll walk over and clang his mace against the corner of the cage. All right, up and at 'em. I got some questions.
A question.
Who's feeling helpful?
How do you take a poop in that thing? You gotta get out of that thing, or does it got like a poop chute?
Insolence is not to be rewarded.
It's not insolence. That's the question.
So, how do you all plead?
Not guilty.
Yeah, it's like.
Do we get a representative? Is that a thing?
Like, what are the charges? What is the evidence? You can't even argue our case. You don't even know what the fucking charges are.
All right. Earlier today, we had the lady of the herbalist house, whose name I remember. He checks his notepad. Lady Rubblebelcher came to us and informed us all of your attack on her home last night. She also let us know. No, of her home.
We never.
Her door was broken in. She had things stolen from her.
Well, that straight up didn't happen. Not by us.
Alright.
But,
and the bakery incident. Hidden tunnel of some kind of fools, a bunch of idiots tied up in the back room. Most of them with claw marks, some of them melted with magic.
Oh, yeah, you done heard about them, knives in the dark, or what done is it?
That was their
Sure.
Well,
I didn't hear that.
Said sure.
And how'd you come into the knowledge of this hideout?
Well, some stuff was stolen. We was gonna get it back, and we just kind of followed our noses.
We was commissioned by a jeweler who had been stolen from by this gang. And,
I got a bounty hunting permit.
Yep. And we had been following this one gentleman, and chanced upon this location. We didn't track it down. It just happened to be where this guy ended up when we were chasing him down. And then all hell broke.
There's a fellow who I think you might be able to question. He's young, looks about 16. He's a bit of an insider. He's a bit naive, didn't really understand what he was doing.
Sven Orthenson, he says, looking at his notes.
Yeah, that fella.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe don't be bringing that lady around at the same time. I got the feeling that she's got some tricksy shit going on, and
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 that,
You wouldn't want
and
to
that
know.
woman, we did go and see her, but we did not assault her in any way. We stood on her
No, we
doorstep
didn't
and
enter
asked
her
her a few
home.
questions, and
I wanted to
eventually
buy
she slammed
some
the door in our face.
apple. And she didn't want to sell it to me, apparently. Not much of a herbalist, if you ask me. But
All right. So if you weren't at her home last night, where were you?
last
We were
night.
We were
fighting.
being attacked in the street by
Yeah.
were animals.
Oh, yeah.
That was you all. You admit to the murder of Torn, Gerald, and wait, Gerald and Gerald, and an unknown warrior.
No, we don't admit to the
Don't you guys
murder
have,
of
like,
any. We admit
forensics
to
or
being
some shit?
attacked in the street by them.
Under what cause? What provoked this attack?
Well, one of them really wanted to turn me into a were shark and had bit me a while ago because we are all the members of a ship. And we
Don't
have
y'all
the
have,
permits to trade it, etc. But long story short, I was very close to becoming part shark.
yeah, don't y'all have, like, some magic investigation people or some shit with all, I mean, you got that fancy armor. You gotta have some folks who's knows
It's being
some.
carried out. Yes, I'm here to check your story and verify
Yeah,
what I
well,
can.
you'll find that the two folks you knew about, they was rat lycanthropes, and the ones you didn't, that fella was he was a shark fella, and yeah, they done tried to kill us because, well, one of us done got bit, and we didn't want to be a shark person, and so we got rid of it.
A lot for you're asking me to believe a lot of different things all at the same time.
Well,
I mean, you believe that the sky is blue and the grass is green, so I think you can figure this one out too.
Believe
you,
these other truths.
you also believe in that crazy lady with her stupid crap.
Yeah, she don't be saying a lot
I
of shit.
mean, my
You know.
hair is literally on fire. Can't you believe that maybe we were attacked?
I'll go check it out. You all don't go anywhere.
I can show you where he bit me.
He'll turn around as he was walking away.
I'll like show the bite mark on my arm that's still like kind of healing,
I will
and then
also
this
show
little tiny
mine.
hand is where we done fixed it.
Yeah, and Lucille holds up her hand and puts it on the mark. See, I was the one that did the remove curse.
You guys are doing a great job. Why don't I get one persuasion at advantage? For, you guys can pick who it would who
I
it's gonna
think
be.
I
Lucille
think
is
that would be me,
probably
right?
both the least threatening
Yeah.
and the most persuasive.
Mine is 0.
Yeah, my persuasion is 4. No, I'm not trained, but I
just
got
got a
4 plus
+1.
charisma.
Okay.
So roll. You want regular roll or
At
you want
advantage because you're being assisted. Like all three of you are working to convince this guy, and you're all telling the truth.
Oh, I'm gonna use my once per day.
Okay.
So that's just normal roll, right?
No, you can roll again at advantage.
Okay.
I'm trying to give you a good
There we
chance
go.
here. Okay, 14, a little bit better. His
I want to
eyebrows
give
go.
one today just in case we do better.
Okay.
Okay, one more time.
Zeke's
This is
once per day as
important.
well.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay, you see him turn around with a look of incredulity, but as Zeke, you like roll up your shirt, Zashi pulls down the side of her pant leg, and Lucille puts her. Huh?
Sorry, maybe that's a little much, but I was pretending there was still a tooth in there and taking out a tooth.
Oh no, yeah. With all the healing and more than a day, yeah. So you put your hand in, you look over at him and are telling him this, and his eyebrows are going up and up and up until they disappear beyond where you can see with the metal like faceplate.
Your eyebrows are trying to fly away, sir. You might want to catch them.
Well, that's quite a story. I'll Will you all
Can we go out of the cage now? Please.
I'll make
Can
sure
we
food's brought to you in an hour or so. I have to go and check all your paperwork. You're all claiming to be registered to this ship, and all have the licenses to act as bounty hunters.
I mean, I do, and I was leading these folks, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm part of his crew.
All right, what's the ship's name? I have to go down and inspect it.
I'm trying to
Maw,
remember
right? The
the name of
Maw.
the shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a maw. We haven't finished the paint job on it, but we was gonna get a big old toothy maw on the front of it.
Right.
To
All right.
strike fear in the hearts of our enemies.
He'll-
Lucille grins.
He's gonna walk over, bang loudly on the door, and then make his way back, and then through into an evidence room. You hear a couple doors open and close, and a still heavily armored but non-magically vested older man comes out, rubbing his eye. Looks a little sleepy. Puts a cup of coffee down on the table and sags into the chair, keeping an eye on you and the other prisoners in the cage opposite you.
I mean, this is a fairly well-maintained detention facility, but are there vermin like in the grates, in the hallway there?
Not that you've seen. Certainly not during the day. Up to this point. Like you said, this is actually, it's fairly clean. The hay, or straw, or combination thereof, is clean and fresh, either today or yesterday. The bench is solid enough to support all of you without creaking, and the tiles are clean, if not particularly comfortable to sit or lay on.
Sashi has been freaking out since they put her in the jail cell again. She's tired. She is so not. She does not want to go back.
Lucille looks around. She once again, she's a
we
child,
got this.
absorbing it all with her eyes and ears, and she looks at us. She's like, "Hey, it's okay. We'll be fine. By the way, that hat looks awesome on you. Just wanted to let you know."
Why don't you take a sit down?
Yeah.
They
Take a breath.
did take your hat. They did take all of your guys' stuff, just to be clear. You were divested of your things. I actually meant to ask you if there's anything that you would have tried to conceal from the officers when you were searched.
Does Lucille use a spell focus? I think she does.
Not sure. I don't think there's anything that
Okay.
that feels like that would have occurred to Zeke fast enough.
Okay. Yeah, you're already confident enough, just like bare naked as you are, that you can do whatever you want to do. So
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. Okay. So you guys have an unknown amount of time here. There is a guard if you have any questions that you need to direct at them, but I'm curious, this is the first time since you got out of the prison that you guys are not free to do what you wished. How upsetting or resigning is this to you guys? What do you do either to pass the time or to deal with being confined again?
It's the first time
Zeke's
Lucille's actually
probably a
been
little
incarcerated.
overconfident.
She's always been used to the just changing environments, even if she's been, bound. So she's just enjoying the change of environment.
Is there any like graffiti or scratches in the walls of like from other prisoners?
There are some scratches, but most graffiti looks like it's been cleaned. There are a few places where you can see that like they weren't able to completely like cover over the scratches with fresh mortar or things like that. A name or two.
I just want to see if I recognize any names, basically.
I would say I don't think so, especially with how
No.
how regularly they repair it. This would have been something from
Mm.
the past month or so, at the maximum.
Nothing
So
like on
say
the
like
underside of the bench or.
no, nothing like that.
But
It looks fairly well to do. The like the bench is more like a half of a tree than a proper bench, like up on legs.
mm,
It's like the lower half would be like sloped like half of a tree. So it's actually
mm,
like a little bit low for you to sit on comfortably, Zeke,
yeah.
just because you're huge. But what about you, Zashi? What do you like? You're confined, but like staring at the wall. What are you up to? What do you do to in this city?
Zashi's trying not to like Karen the fuck out right now. She's just kind of frustratedly looking at the door and tapping her foot and
Zeke is,
waiting.
Zeke is just gonna sit next to you and like awkwardly like pat and rub your back. It's alright, Sparks. We're gonna get out of this. We got out of much worse before.
She'll kind of lean into Zeke's hand and sigh and like pinch the bridge of her nose, like I just don't. I did not expect to be in this situation again.
Look, this is this is fine. It ain't gonna be too long, and to be honest, this is probably gonna streamline the process of us getting a reward for any bounty that may be out on him. So, if you look at it one way, could be a good thing.
I
It's
guess.
not exactly the ideal path, but I don't think there's going to be any significant trouble to us.
Zashi will like remove her hand from the bridge of her nose and look up to Zeke, trying to like see if he looks like he's bullshitting her before
Zeke,
kind of just
there's probably like Zeke seems relatively confident. There's like the slightest amount of like maybe not, but even then he doesn't seem worried about it. He's just like, we broke out of the fucking Wolfstone. We can break out of here if we have to.
yeah, she will mull that over in her head as she leans against Zeke and tries her best to stay calm.
Telepathically in Zasha said here, you should ask him if you can pet him. I think he might let you because he's being really conciliatory right now.
I don't desire to pet him, you fucking weirdo. Besides, I've been in close contact with Zeke enough times. I've touched his fur.
Yeah, all good, because I'm kind of bored. I'm going to build some shit out of some straw.
I'm alright.
Alright, well, let me know if you need anything. I don't think I can give it to you, but I mean, maybe I'll try. And then Zeke will just sort of like get sticks of straw and just like stack them and just try and occupy his mind a little bit.
All right, I will be right back. I have to take a quick 5-minute break to go feed Saki, and we will rejoin with Cherie in the temple or in the bar as she's flirting with Jaren
Hey,
a
the
little
bar!
bit later.
Yeah,
Give me
I might go
one
grab a
moment.
drink in that time, but obviously Cherie's the next one on, so shouldn't be a problem.
Don't worry, guys. I'll get you out if it breaks down to that.
Yeah, if it comes down to that.
I think we've done a really
we've
good
got-
job of arguing our case.
Yeah, I'm glad I gave the session inspiration thing, because I think that helped a lot.
That's the only reason why I'm not like racing to there. I was like, maybe I'll be okay because he hit the bounty hunters thing. If it gets real bad, we're launching a full fucking rescue. Don't want to fucking immediately call attention to all of us right out the gate.
Alrighty.
Fuck.
While we're waiting for Sam to get back, we can continue your roleplay scene, Shuri. You are flirting with Jaren.
I am here.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
just
good.
muted.
I'm so glad to have the honor of this place. Being one of the major stars of the plane. You're more than welcome. We're glad you found us here. Um, how'd you come to this plane anyway? We don't get a lot of dimensional travelers. It's a rare thing.
Well,
Fainrune's got the monopoly on most of that.
it's kind of what I've heard, but also when I initially got dropped off from the port was a little jarring, but I figured it would be more amiable and, you know, desirable to be able to hear the various music from here. That was my intent coming here.
Give me a deception. Uh-huh. Well, people come for all kinds of reasons. Sure hope you found what you were looking for.
I think I did. As Jewel kind of like brush his hand and bat her eyelashes at him a little bit.
you know what are you doing later when you get off here? I mean, when you're not working anymore.
Figured I'd be enjoying a hot bath and a nice drink.
I'll make sure that's all ready and stuff. I'll get the front desk, get that all set up.
You enjoy wine?
Of course, bartender.
Do you have a rather nice age we could share?
I would be much inclined. Should I pop it open right now? I'm allowed a few drinks while I'm on duty. People like to drink with their bartender.
Of course. I will take out one of the more fanciful bottles that I've purchased. The nice 1820 rosette. I can only imagine how many years you've been here.
Oh, decade 2, start to lose count.
No other interests? Quite surprising for someone so dashing.
Oh, well, we get the occasional very interesting traveler, and I'll wink at you. But no, most people just come through and move on. I'm only here because, well, and he kind of shakes his head. It's nice to be able to see new faces all the time.
I understand it full well.
Yeah. To strangers. May we meet them and they be kind.
May they be kind and as handsome as the company I'm keeping right now.
Oh, and he takes a big drink, big ol' sippy sip.
Oh, this is the last.
Oh fuck! I want some wine. Damn, can I have a sip?
How does a man that bashful live in the same town as the lady who runs that drink store?
He plans his days around having to avoid the market square.
Yeah.
He can't even look her in the eye.
Yeah.
He turns into a fucking tomato every time.
Yeah. And also, Shuri is very, different than what he's used to, I would say. She's got a specific vibe.
Those exotic eyes that pierce through your soul.
Yeah, so I guess we know what Shuri is doing tonight.
Enjoying yourself.
Jared.
She's
yes.
literally gonna eat this guy. It's no big deal.
Okay, the night wears on. For those in the jail cell, it has been another few hours before the door clatters open and you see the lieutenant standing there again, flanked by someone in heavy golden and red plate mail. All three of you in the jail cell, make me a religion check.
Oh, shit.
I don't know shit.
This is gonna be
8,
bad.
11. Oh, wait, who's Roxy? I don't know her.
Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light.
Oh, god damn it. Okay,
You guys have to put on the red dice.
Zeke and Zashi, you both look up and see this person and go, what a fucking loser wearing heavy armor. Lucelle, you have heard of the Warriors of God before. You were told by your previous watcher how powerful and I would say implacable many of the orders of paladins of this world are. Specifically, you would recognize the symbol, as you're very good at symbology, the symbols of war written across the breastplate and tabard of this large paladin. And they will approach the gate. Everybody stand back. Coming in.
In your heads, you hear, "Ah, shit! Here we go. You just be quiet and listen. Let me talk to this fucker, okay?"
Zeke is just built like a little house out of straw. Just like a tiny one.
Hey, back up. Everybody move back to the bench.
Zeke is
Quietly
just
moves
sitting
to the
there.
bench. She says to the Zeke, "Please move to the bench and sit your ass down and listen to what he says implicitly."
I'm close enough. I
Just
built a
sit on the
little
bench,
house.
boss. Sit on the
Just
bench right now. It's about the werewolf things. They're very scared about that. Sit down right now, please.
Is you folks got manners?
Please sit down on the bench, boss.
I. But this is like he basically has to squat just to touch the beach.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Paladin, man. Please be patient with my captain. He's a stubborn guy, but he's got his heart in the right place. Just don't be rude to him, and he will be rude to you. Okay?
You see he like looks over at you. He's got a half helm that covers the upper half of his face. And you can see his mouth is set in a fairly grim slash. As he is closer, you can all see better that the armor that he's wearing, though fine and shining, looks like it has been repaired many, many times, as if this is someone who has seen deadly battle time and time again, possibly even fighting on the front lines. And the lieutenant will speak up. All right. Some of your story checked out. Some we can't verify. That's what we're here to do. My friend here is going to set up a magic, and you're all going to tell me the same story you told me before, or you're going to be found out as liars. Make sense?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
sure.
All right. The paladin makes a sign and draws a great sword from their back and kneels, placing it down on a tip down on the ground, and begins to pray. After about 6 seconds, you watch as a wash of orange and red light comes out from them, covering most of this area inside of the cell. And as it does so, they stand up, and you see that their eyes and ears seem to be silhouetted over the mask, as if more attuned to information. And the lieutenant will get the nod from the paladin and flip open the book. You are the crew of the ship the Maw. And at this point, I need everybody to make or choose to fail a charisma saving throw against
Character.
the zone of truth.
Yeah, I'll. Have they like explained it to us? Like
Yes.
the spell thing? And that
Yeah,
like we. Alright.
Yeah, the lieutenant would take the time to explain it before you.
Yeah. Zeke could he'd resist a little bit to start with, but then he'd be like, "No, okay, fine."
Okay, Zashi, you try to guard your mind against this, but you feel it wash over you. It's a different feeling of magic than what you cast. It's as if another weave is intersecting with the one that you normally touch. Much brighter.
I assume at out of spellcaster brain, she tried to resist and then was like, "Oh wait, I am good. I have nothing to hide."
Okay.
Okay, because of Lucelle's just fey nature and the way she was raised, she has to save, but she knows that she can resist this too, this urge. So she makes a save, but then right at the last moment, she lets it hit. So she does. She intentionally fails it. So
Okay.
That's her.
A
That's
15
her
would also fail as well.
Yeah, but she tries to resist it, but then she still it's basically it's
All right.
obvious that she tries to resist it.
Okay. The lieutenant, Nurks, says, "You are all the crew of the Maw."
Yeah.
Yes.
You were attacked without provocation in the streets by a were tiger and 3 were jackalops.
No,
Jackalas.
it was freaking, it was a shark lycanthrope and a couple, what is it? Rat
Yeah,
people? Yeah,
rat. I
rat
think it was
people.
3 rats.
Yeah, I
3
forget how
rats.
many. They just went down so easy.
Glances over. The paladin will again nod at the lieutenant. You attacked the home of our herbalist.
No,
You
she's a
won?
lion cunt.
I didn't catch that.
You attacked the home of the herbalist Eva Rubblebelcher
No. I mean, she's a
because you are
bitch. I would attack
otherwise
her, but I
engaged in
didn't.
this sortie with the aforementioned were creatures.
Sorry, repeat that, please.
You were busy killing the were creatures, and so you couldn't have attacked her. That's the
Yeah,
story.
that's I believe what was happening. I'm not great with time, but I think that sounds
Yeah,
about right.
we couldn't have been fighting her. We couldn't have been attacking her because
Yeah.
we were busy defending ourselves from those were guys. Also,
I
And
can
if
tell you that I've never entered her home nor laid a hand on her.
all right, one last question then on this matter. If you were so innocent of wrongdoing, why did no one find you at the scene of the crime just minutes after the attack?
Well, I mean, we was gonna go and talk to yous, to be honest. We was gonna go and see about getting some reward for knocking out some of the stabby dark people. I forget the name.
the swords in
I'm
the
not
dark
Googling
guys.
it.
We'll deal
Yeah.
with the knives in the dark incident later. I'm asking about the were creature attack.
Oh,
You must have
well,
sprinted pretty damn fast to get away before the officer showed up, from what we can tell.
We are more focused on dealing with the curse because one of our friends has
yeah.
already been
I
bit by
mean,
this shark guy.
we you gotta understand, being turned into a giant, another beastie, is not exactly the most alluring prospect. I mean, it could be interesting, but there are a few too many catches, and we wanted to get that sorted as soon as possible.
All right. What was the name of the person who contracted you to find these knives in the dark people?
I mean, he don't give me his name. It was a jeweler fella, I think, but he just done left town. So
Interesting. Can you provide us a description of this individual?
uh, Snaky.
I think he was like a Yanti jeweler. I never. The captain was the one that did the
Yeah, he was
contracting
like
with them.
a sneaky kind of person. Said shit with way too many S's.
All right.
I think that's called susurrant, sir.
I look. I didn't go to school. Okay, I'm not gonna learn all that bullshit.
What I just don't understand is if you're all telling the truth, which I'm being told you are, why would she lie?
Because she's
I
a
mean,
dirty lying bitch.
oh yeah, that's
Well,
right.
she's not a dirty lying bitch, I'm guessing, but I would imagine that she lied because she's involved with
Oh yeah, yeah. I
the
remember now.
gang we busted up.
Yeah,
They was feeding her people or something. They was
yeah.
sending folks that wasn't going to be missed to her, and they done got disappeared. I don't know what she did, but I don't know. Maybe she was eating them. Maybe she was fucking in them and eating them. I know someone like that, but I don't know, man. I don't know what she was doing, but she was disappearing them somehow. That's why she was so secretive about not letting folks in her place. That's why I reckon.
All right. Well, that matches with what we were told. and he'll give a whistle, and you will see another pair of these more ordinary guards come through the door, leading Orvex and Sven to a jail cell.
Hey.
Orvex
Sorry
makes
about
a
the
rude
inconvenience,
gesture in
fellas.
your direction, but Sven kind of gives a nod.
Sorry about the inconvenience, fellas, but I'll put in a good word for you. Well, for you, Sven. Fuck you, Orvex.
Yeah, or makes you a prick.
He checks his busted mouth, and you can see he's got a wrapping on his jaw. Fuck you. And the affected old man routine is a little bit less affected now because he's all sore from getting his ass beat. The lieutenant's gonna look over at the paladin, who's going to draw the sword from the ground and step back over towards the door of the cage.
See, I done told you.
Apparently you
Can we get
did,
some
and all
food
your
now?
paperwork checked out. We appreciate citizens of the stub acquiescing to the rule of the militia, especially someone who was raised not so far from here. And he'll give a nod towards Zeke.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I enjoyed my childhood, but it happened here.
Well, we'll see about getting you all out. It'll probably be tomorrow morning by the time we finish going through everything, getting all the accounts straight. But
Can
as
we
of
get
right
some?
now, you're not going to be held accountable to any of the destruction that happened. But because there was no official authorization for you to be hunting down these people within the city limits, we're gonna need to cover that one up instead of lauding you with laurels.
Okay, well, can we at least get out of this cell?
As
You
soon as I
said
can
that
get you out.
tomorrow morning, yeah. Can we get some food and shit in here?
Maybe some blankets, because this floor fucking sucks.
We'll see what I can
It'd be
rustle up.
nice.
Thank you.
It'd be yeah. It'd be good. Also, maybe be nice to Sven. He's been through some shit, and
Yeah,
he's just a kid. So,
just a kid.
and he was pretty cooperative with us.
Yeah, he helped us out with the knives in the dark, as they like to call themselves. Fucking edgelords.
That leaves one last thing. Miss Robelbelcher has been unavailable after we've reached out to the church to continue our investigation.
Oh, imagine that.
Well, maybe you should have listened to us.
I'm listening to you right now. You understand that as an officer, I have to take complaints seriously. But here I am.
I had quite a complaint about her, but you didn't want to hear
I
it.
understood
Never,
hat in
never
hand.
mind.
So
I'm just saying I told you.
What's up? What's up, sir?
I'm offering. Well, suppose you were all to get out without official release, mind. We wouldn't have to notify the people involved in the investigation. And patrols, especially in the upper city, we need to pull people back down to the areas where these disturbances have happened. What might a group of individuals such as yourself do with someone who ratted them out to the law, I wonder?
Oh,
I suppose we'd return the favor.
and in your heads you hear, I like the way this guy thinks now.
Well,
Unless you're not too picky about what condition she returns to you in.
we're not interested in having anyone who associates with the knives in the dark, especially in the capacity of disappearing people of the city within the walls. If the house were to turn up on the market, empty. I don't think there would be too many complaints, and those that would be I could smooth over. But you'd need to be out of the city by the time that was found out. Am I understood?
Yeah, we about business elsewhere soon, so that works just fine for us.
I'll
To
have your
be
food and blankets brought.
clarifying, are we to be going and returning a favor to Mrs. fucking Rock Guts or whatever the fuck?
I wouldn't know. Your business is your own as a freed individual.
Yep. Hey, Captain. I think we got something to
Yeah.
take care of tonight when we get our little our blankets later. Thank you, Captain or Lieutenant.
A pleasure.
What about?
And he clicks his fingers towards the guy. Blankets, food for both of them, and he gestures towards you, your cell, and Sven's cell. You see the normal guards wearing the heavy chain and splint armor kind of give each other looks before one of them makes his way into the back room and comes back with a pile of blankets a few minutes later, passing them through the bars to you all, or probably just passing them through the bars to put them on the ground right through the
Thank
food
you very
slot.
much.
And he'll do the same with a single blanket for Orvix and Sven. A few more moments go by, and he comes back with some good, if not particularly fresh bread, a large wheel of cheese, and a pretty decently sized pair of sticks of salami
Nice.
that he'll pass through the bars to you as well.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll give the same to Orvix and Sven.
Yeah, Lucille comes back with the chow and the blankets. Sets it out on the bench. Gives she a blanket so she's a more comfortable perch on the bench. So we should be getting out of here pretty soon, so we can go hunt down that bitch, and then we can get the hell out of Dodge, boss.
Yeah. Well, I don't know which way she done gone, but we'll have to see. I didn't quite pick up on exactly what that fella was saying. Like, is she gone from town? Is she just
No,
not coming to her
I
house?
think that she thinks she's got us screwed over in the system, but she doesn't know that we're out of town. We're out of the jail, and I'll be able to mess with her now.
Oh,
So she's back at
right.
her house.
I
So
thought
he's
you
letting
don't
us
skip
leave.
that.
You know, she's here, and we have been given permission to go take care of her on the down low.
Oh, well, that sounds good. I do have a message for her that is a little late.
And while we're waiting to be let out, we got a nice little snack here and some blankets to be comfy. And while we're getting the door unlocked.
Sounds good. Hey, y'all have a play sticks? And Zeke will just sort of like, in the meantime that it takes for the guards, just like offer to teach the other two,
Lucille
like
has
a
not played it, but
game
she'd be
that he
happy to learn.
probably played when he was young and on the streets.
Yeah, she'd be happy to learn.
Just like with the straws.
Okay. The night is wearing on at the inn. Shuri, you have finished playing, and you and Jaren are sharing a pre or post glass of wine in one of the rooms. And whatever happened, you're welcome to have decided what happened. When there is a knock at your door. It's fairly late. It's maybe 1 a.m. You stopped playing an hour or two ago. It's definitely later in the evening, or later towards the witching hour.
Yeah, no, she would open the door, not worrying about full nude.
Okay. You open the door. Standing there is a heavily armored artificer. Are you? And he looks up from his notebook and like immediately his eyes like shoot up to the top of the door frame. Miss Thulery, member of the Maw merchant ship.
I'm like discerning whether or not he has my fake ID or the ship registry.
Oh, that if apologies. What was your fake last name?
Serena Waterstrider, so Waterstrider.
Miss Waterstrider.
Yes.
Apologies, I forget that you have a whole fake name.
I mean, she did it on purpose because
Yeah.
I don't want that coming up. Yes. I'm Miss Waterstrider.
I'm here to let you know that the charges against your crewmates are being dropped. They'll be released in the morning. If you'd like to visit them, and he like glances down to make eye contact with you, and his eyes start to drift, and he shoots them back up to the top of the door frame. They have the large cell facing the road, with a window that you'd be able to converse with them through.
I appreciate that very much.
Yes, I would recommend you paying them a visit, and here's a few of their personal effects, and he'll hand you what a small object that wrapped in brown paper and tied with a little piece of string. It's light, not more than a quarter of a pound.
Thank you. I assume they'd be released in the morning, then?
Yes, official release will be tomorrow morning. You should probably visit them before that. I should be going. And he'll give you a bow and reach up and close down the faceplate as he about faces and starts to head away.
Please tell me that was the same guy who was bashful about the...
Oh no! This is the lieutenant that you guys. Yeah, you would have seen Lieutenant, like the nameplate Lieutenant Nurks. Jaren, the bashful guy, is dead asleep in your bed. Yeah, you close the door.
Oh,
Shuri?
sorry. My brain.
Yeah.
All right, you are standing there. The room is dark, half-finished wine glasses, and you have this package. It's not longer than your hand.
I would quietly check what's in it, not to make current company.
You open it. It contains two things. There is a small scrap of parchment cut into a square that says between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. And the other object is a wrought iron key.
Kind of get that curling smile for a moment. As I will tuck that away safely. It's tied up again.
I have a question. Would the time that we've been in jail be long enough for a long rest?
Not as of yet, because you still have to wait until 24 hours have passed since your last long rest, but you guys are currently in the middle of one, as it is 1 a.m.
Okay.
I adjusted the dynamic lighting so it's not daylight mode anymore, but it probably doesn't make much of a difference from inside the...
Right.
Or actually, yeah, it did. You guys, it's much darker for you guys in there now.
And then crawl back into bed and enjoy the rest of the night.
All right, are you gonna just continue? You just gonna sleep through the night?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I assume they are. Or was that letter meant for tonight?
Yeah, I mean it's a letter that says, but they're supposed to be as he said, official release is tomorrow morning. So
Yes.
it is soon in the morning, but he also gave you their personal effects, which was just a key and a note. So you feel free to do whatever you wish with that information. It can imply whatever you wish it to, but
Then I would get ready. I would. Try to get dressed quietly and gather my effects. A bit sad to have to leave Jaren like this, but just give him a soft kiss on the cheek before going.
no. Okay. You head out into the city. It is very dark, very late. And though there are some patrols moving around, they are few and far between.
I'll start making my way towards the, I believe, guard tower is where they're being kept.
There is a jail next to the barracks in the center city.
Then I will make my way there.
All right.
As quiet as I can.
Okay. You can roll me either a stealth or a performance to either keep yourself hidden from all eyes or to purport yourself as just a normal person out for a late night bit of walk.
A little bit of performance.
Okay, yeah, you meander down, picking at your instrument, playing just a little bit of music as you're making your way through the city. As you near the central district, there are fewer and fewer guard patrols, strangely, even though this is normally the most well-kept area. And as you draw closer and closer, you see the building come into view. And you can see the only window on the front of the building directly northwest of you. Torchlight spilling out of it.
Try and maintain soft air of quiet.
Sure, give me a stealth at this point. You step onto the deck here. You see a forgotten deck of playing cards on a table in the middle of someone's game of solitaire, an empty chair, or a watchman that's not on duty. Okay, you pad very, very quietly over towards the window.
Gently peer in, trying to not make myself obvious.
Sure. Across the way, you can see Orvex and Sven. In the corner here, you can see a guard passed out asleep. A spilled horn of mead still clutched in one hand, and you can see your party arranged out on the floor or bench as they wish, most of them asleep. It is the latest and darkest parts of the night. Is anyone not asleep? Is anyone purposefully trying to stay up this night?
Nah.
Yeah, I think Lucille is just keeping an eye out. She's actually keeping an eye for any rats coming out now that it's getting darker.
Okay. You're definitely having the most trouble seeing out of anybody in this place.
I assume the key is not for this, but for their cell, possibly.
As you look, actually, the window that you're pressed up against does have a heavy lock on it that would allow the window to swing outwards.
Gently click that in place with a nice smile, and especially kind of looking at everyone else. They're still asleep aside from the cell.
Okay. You click and unlock the window, holding and very gently opening the lock and reaching down to place it on the ground, not dropping it.
Quietly towards Lucille, almost ironically catcalling, but not the New Yorker was Lucille, just the little pss towards the cell.
Lucille looks up, and in your head you hear, "Yay, I missed you. I should have gone with you because this sucked."
I'll Could I respond into your mind? Or is
Yeah.
that... Alright, just had to double check. Did see a bit of the side eye from everyone. Thankfully, stepped away. Come. I received your captain's letter. I'm glad things have gone well here. Do wake them up. We have to hurry.
Okay. Yeah, so quietly goes over and shakes Zashi awake and in her head, telepathically says, "Wake up! We got. We're getting out.
I'm up.
Yeah, quiet. We're getting out. Windows open. She casts light. Actually, yeah, it's a catcher. She casts light. She casts light on the blanket, so it lights up.
Luzel, you cause the blanket to give off light. The guard in the corner, like, sort of twitches in response to the bright light appearing in the darkness of the cell. High or low for favorable results?
Always high, baby.
Okay, give me a d20.
Oh no!
Hey!
Wait. You can have my reroll.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Hey, what are you doing in there? No casting magics.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. And she
Put that out.
She puts it out.
He'll give a rap on the metal bar. Probably cause Zeke to jerk awake. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. It's just I can't see that well in the dark, and I was getting a little nervous.
It's nighttime. You're supposed to be sleeping. No need to see.
I was getting nervous, man. You don't remember when you was a kid and you wanted to see a little bit?
Give me a deception.
She's just a baby.
Well, none of that. You're supposed to be released in the morning. Don't give me a reason to hold you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Wait, why are we trying to break out when we're gonna be released anyway?
Because we can go and fuck with the lady tonight. And then
Okay,
leave tonight.
understandable.
Otherwise, they're gonna just have to do like a normal investigation of her, and you guys won't get a chance to have revenge on her. You can absolutely just not. This is just that he just pointed out that there is a window, if that is what you wish
A window
to do.
where we can bypass the red tape and the bullshit.
Speaking of the window, Cherie, you're like back around the corner, but I'll say you're like you've got your hand on the window just to keep it from swinging open under its own weight, since it's fairly heavy.
Pretty much.
And Lucelle and I believe Zashi can both see you. Or Lucelle, Zashi definitely can. Lucelle can't because of the darkness.
Hold up a little finger just like to my lips, like shush.
Yeah, the guard is now awake as he settles back into his chair and looks at all of you. Just watchfully scanning over everything as you are. The three of you are now all awake.
I will just sort of lie down, like curl up and close my eyes just next to the window.
Okay. A few minutes pass. You can see that the guard's eyes are heavy lidded, but he is trying to stay awake inside of this place. Shuri, what are you doing outside here? As the minutes pass, it gets more and more likely that a passerby will walk by and see you.
Keeping quiet as best as I can. If I do see someone coming down the road, I'll probably try and tilt my walking stick against the bar. Try and wedge it so it's trying to stay closed for the moment until we have the clear signal.
Okay.
And if they are walking, probably try to stay out of sight behind a pillar.
Okay. How long are you going to wait? Just until Lucelle or Zashi gives you some kind of signal?
Yeah, a little nod or a brain signal.
Okay. Alright, the minutes creep by very, very slowly, almost glacially. 10 minutes go by before Zashi, Lucelle, and Zeke all hear the hiccuping snore of the guard start up again.
Ears perk up and slowly creep to the window.
I'll help creep the window open very quietly.
Just slink out of it.
Give Zeke a wink as he steps on out, soft and quiet.
Just a nod.
Do a little finger waggle towards Lucille, who's waiting. Oh, that's Sashi.
I follow Zeke out.
I don't know how tall the window is, but might need to pull you out of it, depending.
I would say it's about chest height. It's fairly large. Meant to give a good view of the interior to anybody standing outside.
Okay.
Lucelle, would you follow your party?
Yep. Let's see here. Which window is it? Oh, there it goes. Oh.
Be sure to close it and lock it again.
Here, I'll put a light outside here just so you can see.
Yeah, 'cause
so
I
there would
can't
be
see
there would be
anything
some
right now.
street lights that would be giving you vision.
Okay, I can't close the window because I still can't see it.
That's fine.
I have closed it.
Cool. Okay.
I'll nod and show you guys the letter, and then proceed to walk.
Yeah.
In the dark in that direction
She
we're supposed to head.
she grabs onto Cherie's cloak or shoulder or forearm just to so she doesn't give away her position with light. It's like, and she says in her head, it's like, yeah, I can't see shit, so near my eyes right now. Sorry.
Just hang on.
I just sort of point to the lock.
Yeah, I made sure to relock it.
Okay, cool. Well, I think it's about time to get going.
Okay, just a heads up. I don't got no more healing light in me right now. All I got is my 2 spells, so be careful about taking too much hitting, okay?
Just have to make
No,
a choice.
Did we complete a long rest or not?
No, not at this point. You guys are. It is around 4 a.m. You guys would need about 4 more hours.
Hockey dokie.
So it was, well, I never got my short rest myself. Or no.
Well, I mean, everyone would have definitely had a short rest by this time. Like Shuri sleeping with Jaren after
yeah,
your activities would have definitely been a short rest.
But not a long rest on them. Because
No.
Having way too much fun.
Yes. So as you guys make your way back out onto the streets, you do have the choice. Was that in the apartment? Did you hear that? Oh Jesus! I thought that was Saki. Sorry. Train of thought run amok. You guys do have the thought provoked by Lucelle. Where are you guys going to go? You could make it towards your ship, or you could head for the residence of the person who has been ducking the cops.
I mean,
I'd like to
yeah,
tend to business.
we
if
got
that's all right.
we got beef with this bitch. Let's take her out.
One that I can collect a
I
price
have
from.
some personal touches I'd like to make.
Plus, she's making people miserable, man. That ain't right.
That. But let's be a little fanciful about how we do this, I think.
Yeah, let's make it spectacular. I know McKenna will dig it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Let's
you
get
guys. So the oh. Where you go? Where y'all going?
I don't know. Oh, I'm just
going.
following.
The herbalist is over here in the central.
Oh, sorry,
Right.
my brain
No worries.
misremembered.
Over to herbalist.
Okay, you guys make your way to the herbalist's home. As you are heading there, those of you without dark vision Lucille, would you at this point recast a light on yourself?
Unless I think we're trying to stay stealthy, so she would hold on using light, unless absolutely necessary. So she would stick to. I mean, what's the clock? What's the sky like? Do we have any moon out?
It's pretty dark. It's the by this time the moon is already set again. So I would say if you don't cast light, you're gonna be basically in darkness.
Okay. Well, she does use her mage armor, so she's got back up.
Okay.
And she would have light ready to use at the start of combat. That would be the holding condition for it.
Okay.
I will guide her along.
Yeah,
All
she's tagging along with Cherie.
Okay. Okay. I mean, it is dark as dicks.
Perfect.
All right, you guys are.
Stealthy approach.
Lucille
Okay.
is currently flying right now, so I guess if you got some rope, because she doesn't have a rope anymore, Cherie, she's asked you to let her be a kite.
I'll tie a little rope around you.
Okay.
Trying to be quiet.
Yeah, I'll get a group stealth check from everybody. We'll average it out. Saw she just stepped away, but we'll get that as soon as she is back.
We don't have pass without a trace, do we?
Sadly not.
Negative. You're thinking of the Rangers.
Mm-hmm. Mighty powerful start.
I love that spell.
It is very good. Once upon a time, Josh had to run a game where there were 2 druids who could cast that for free with their staves every single time. So we just had plus 20.
Oh, it's stats.
Does it?
No, but we would just mess around. We would do what we could do is we would split the party and both have plus 10 without having to stay near the one person.
Mm.
And yet the succubus still slipped into the party without.
I mean, we fucking knew.
I
We're
know,
just
it's just-
nobody knew in character, so
Yeah,
we
it
couldn't
was
act.
So fucking funny.
Could you give a stealth check? We're doing a group stealth check as you guys are approaching the house. It is very, very late as you guys are approaching. To no one's surprise, Zashi, who is emitting light, is the least stealthy. But it is not a decided negative.
And we'll be coming up, and I will take that little lock of hair that's got the bit of blood in it, and I'll just put it down on the front doormat. And then slink away. Anyone got any other personal touches they'd like to make? I'm thinking just chuck a pebble at the door. She comes, finds that, and then maybe we jump.
Sounds good to me.
Alright, I'm not hearing any complaints. I'll disappear myself into the bushes.
Okay.
And, Sparks, you might want to, dim yourself a bit. I don't know. Is there a thing you can do?
No, not that I can think of.
Shit. Well, maybe just get behind someone.
I believe I can turn. Did we discuss whether or not I could turn the brightness down on me?
I would say yeah. You could turn it off if you so wish.
Yeah, I go dark.
Alrighty. Well, let me just. I'll take a pebble and just throw it at the front door.
Okay, it clatters off of the front door.
Now just throw a couple more until I hear some movement.
Yeah, you pick up a handful of stones, you're throwing them one by one. You don't hear anything. It's like what the lieutenant said, they've gone to try and find her, but she's not responding to her door.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Let me
And
just.
as you're wondering like what a next step could be, you throw a final stone and it hits the like knob of the door rather than the wood itself. And you hear a slight squeak and then a click as the door handle spins and opens itself inward. You see that there is nobody standing in the doorway. The door appears to have opened and is now standing open on its own.
I throw another stone.
It clatters through the open door onto the floor inside.
Can I like hear or smell or see any signs of them perhaps being just on the other side of it?
You cannot hear or smell anything like that, though. Like that specifically, if you want to make me a perception check.
Yeah. Perception. No.
No, there are some strange smells, but you chalk it up to herbalism. Definitely doesn't smell like a person.
I'll start creeping up towards the door to take a peek in.
As will I. And if I may be able to, I'd like to be holding a grapple.
I pull out a garrote.
Okay, all of you make your way over towards the doorway, and you can see into the house. Despite the somewhat eclectic exterior, the inside appears fairly normal. The open doorway and a large table with what looks like crystal set about on it.
Just assuming that from the outside there were no lights or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright. In which case I'll just start creeping around.
Pat around quietly.
Like, seeing, is there any, like, signs of recent movement?
What do you mean?
Like, is there, like, dust or, like, stuff that's, like, quickly been packed away?
No, it's a fairly clean on the inside. You don't see anything that, like, items being packed away. As you are stepping in, though, the entirety of the house seems to shiver as if an earthquake, and then you hear a voice in all of your minds. Little children looking around, what have they found? And there is a creak next to you and Cherie, Zeke, as the door slams itself closed, and the table seems to give a stretch, and you watch as both of those objects animate, and the door swings outward as if to strike Cherie as the table goes to try and butt you in the rear, Zeke. And you all hear this voice and see the door lash out, so we will roll into initiative. And as prepared as you are to grapple something, were you prepared to grapple a table?
I would say probably not. I was imagining to, like, leap out and grapple her.
Gotcha.
And
okay.
A table was probably not expected.
All right, give me one moment to set up music.
We're back.
The chaos unfolds.
Huatatapa. Okay. Door. Table. Righty. Where's my Witcher music? I haven't used my Witcher music in a while. Let's do that one. Hell yes. Okay. Objects clatter to the ground in front of you, Cherie. These crystals going flying and shattering against the ground as this table is beginning to buck like a horse or perhaps a bull, shoving you against the wall. What would you like to do?
Pulling out a dagger and taking the dodge action.
Okay.
That's me.
Okay. You both see the door here swing open. However, you see the only thing you see on the other side is what appears to be a large rug currently in the process of rising up. Zeke, this table is trying to butt you in the ass.
I'm gonna leap up and fucking elbow drop this thing in the middle of it.
Hell yeah.
Alrighty. Rage, because always.
Yep.
And a time for a bestial claws / elbow drop.
Okay.
A whang. Sorry, it should be advantage, right? Because
Yes, with Shuri on the other side.
I'll just roll that one again.
elbow. Oh yeah.
Alright, an 8 is gonna miss. It like contorts the wood creaking and warping to bend out of the way of your elbow.
And then I will try and like scratch uppercut.
23 is gonna hit.
Nice.
Score of claw marks across the wood.
Good a shid. And another.
17 is also gonna hit. Digging into the wood of this construct.
And I shall be moving around to the corner because I do not like carpet trying to come get me.
Sure. Zashi, you see the door swinging like almost inwards as if it's trying to tear free of the frame that it finds itself in. It is closed currently, blocking your entry into the house.
Does it look like I can attempt to open it, or is it like being mysteriously controlled by something else?
It appears to be either controlled or animated in some way, yeah. You could try and grapple the door open, absolutely.
I feel like I should just shoot it.
Okay. Okay, those attacks would all be at disadvantage because you are in melee range with the thing. So I'll count the 13 and the 27 together. Give me one more roll at normal, and then do a roll at disadvantage. Okay, a 13, a 10, and a 9 are all unfortunately going to miss.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, that's my turn.
Don't forget that spell, it takes like a silver or a gold roll every time you cast it, whatever that is. Are you you're good where you're gonna stand right there?
I'll back up one, but I believe I can't. This is like a railing, right?
No, that's not actually there. That would be the steps like leading up to the door. This map is slightly different than the other map.
Oh.
If you would like to back up, you're more than free to do so. It does try and swing at you as you step away. A 23 is the reaction from the door to ram you. Okay, can you take 9 bludgeoning damage for me? And then we'll go to Lucelle, if that's your turn.
Oh, yes.
So Lucelle is a kite. She's been like staying, ahead above everybody. But now that combat's breaking out,
let me put the light because you were prepared to do that. Sorry.
Okay. See here. Is the door the only way into the house? Or is there a window?
That you've seen so far.
Okay. Zashi, I'm gonna try to see if there's a window we can bust in, because I don't want to get hit by a door. Okay.
Okay.
Lucelle, what's your movement speed?
35 or 30 feet.
30 feet. Okay, I'll say you can make it to right here, and I don't have it set up on the dynamic lighting, but right here in front of you, there is a window.
Okay. She's gonna peek in through there, I guess.
If I do that, can you see into the room?
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the limit of movement.
Yeah, you could try and smash the window or something with your action, or dash back or whatever.
She's gonna try to open the window.
You give it a shove. The window appears to be locked, but it is glass. It's not like metal bars.
Yeah, and I guess while trying to test it out, she's just gonna bust it in, and because she does have a bludgeoning weapon available. It is a mace. She takes her mace and goes whack, smashes in it.
Okay.
And that's it. So, yeah.
Okay. You have done this. Shuri, you are dodging as the door tears itself free and moves over to try and pin you against the corner, leaving the doorway itself open wide. Shuri, at disadvantage, this thing tries to ram you. A 12.
No.
All right, we will go then. You hear what sounds sort of like a roar, but as it makes itself more clear, you see that it is actually just a rug of a bear, not a bear itself, as it squeezes its way through the doorway and looms large, menacing in the hallway. It seems to be flexing its claws as if prepared to stop anyone that tries to get past it. Zeke, the table was upset that you tried to hurt it. It's gonna try and hurt you back. A 17 to ram into you.
Yes.
Okay, that is gonna be 13 bludgeoning, half to 6 for you.
Owie zowie.
Shuri, you are in the corner between a door and a table.
Hope they like burning. I'll try and green flame the table.
Okay.
Just strength. I doubt that
Ooh,
hits.
an 8 is not going to do it, no. You do, like, hit the table, but your magic seems to misfire. You just, like, barely scratch the wood, and the green flame leaps over it and strikes the wall beyond it.
That is me.
Alrighty. You all see another door open, and then, or Zeke and Shuri see another door open and then close. Zeke.
Alrighty, I will move here. What are the chances of me being able to move through the space of the rug?
You can absolutely move through any enemy creature space at double movement cost. However, standing there does provoke the prepared action of the rug. It makes a claw attack at you. An 11.
Okie
Oh, actually with advantage because you're there. A 19.
Okie dokie. I mean, I would have moved to this space first, but yeah.
Okay, then an 11 will miss.
Okie dokie.
You can freely move through it. You've used 15 feet of your movement, so you would need 10, 20. You would need 25 left. I don't think you have that at this level.
No, I have 5 less than that.
Ah,
In which case, I will just, not seeing that I'm able to get past the table just yet, or the bear just yet, I'm going to attempt to smash the table.
okay. You have advantage again.
More. Let's go a smash.
20 is gonna hit.
Smash.
26 is also gonna hit. 25 will hit as well. 10. 18. Okay, that last one does it. What does that look like as you destroy this table?
Yeah, elbow drop the table in half.
Okay. It shatters into splintered pieces which seem to shiver as if trying to pull back together and then fall to the ground.
Good shit. And then I'll move to the side just in case anyone can get through.
Okay. Then we'll go to Zashi. Zashi, the door has moved.
Aha! Can I get past it? I mean, if I go out of its range, it'll attack me again, right?
Yes.
But I might as well go around it.
Okay.
Can I get in there?
Yeah, you can.
There. Alrighty. Looks to the left. I can see the corner of what appears to be a bear.
Yes, but it's strangely flat.
This bear is flat.
The fuck's wrong with this bear?
Sorry, I'm deciding what to do. I'm going to Witch Bolt the bear.
Okay, you will have disadvantage because you are in melee range with the door.
Oh, word. Okay, I did not know that.
Yes. Being in melee range gives disadvantage to any ranged attacks.
Got
You're
it.
being harried.
Okay, well. What's its what is its melee range? 5 feet?
The door?
Yeah.
It appears to be. That's what it hit you at. That's when it tried to hit you last time. Okay, it does swing at you. Door. Ram. 12. That'll miss. Okay. Then I'll let the 21 stand on the bear, so long as you can still see it from where you are.
Yes, I can see a corner of it.
Okay. Even just a corner, I would give it half cover, but that would still hit. So 21's gonna hit. Give me damage.
Aha! Fuck you.
Okay, you shock this bear for 9 lightning, and the thin tether between you and it forms this crackling, thin line of electricity as you're maintaining concentration on Witch Bolt.
Awesome. That is my turn. Oh wait. I believe as a bonus action I can fucking do the thing with the armor. Is it a bonus action or is it an action?
I would not remember.
Yeah, it says
Mage armor is a standard action.
no.
Oh,
It's
cool.
the coral armor. It's
coral armor.
You can command the. It says once per day you can command the coral corset to grow. I don't see anything about whether. Oh, I assume if it requires using an action to revert it back to normal form, then it must require an action to turn it. So never mind.
Yes, mobile reef as an action. Yeah, right at the end of the first sentence, an action. Okay, then we'll go to Lucelle. Lucelle, you're standing in just outside the shattered window. You're muted, Lucelle.
Well, she's going to see her. Nobody else can come up. Is this the second floor, or like another story, or is this on the ground level?
This is just one floor.
Okay. Well, she says it's safe to come in on this side, and then she climbs in. And let's see here. I can't move my token.
Oh,
Yeah,
here you go.
thank you.
Trapped in the dynamic
20,
lighting.
25. She's gonna open the door.
Okay, you open the door. You were greeted by a flat bear.
Rah! Okay. She's going to yelp and Sylvan, and she's going to pull out her. She's got her mace in her hand, the glowing little pebble in her other hand, and she's gonna cast. She's gonna swing her mace at the guy and use green flame blade on it at the same time. So.
Okay.
Trying to remember. Sorry, I'm being rusty because it's been 2 weeks. Let me look at the spell real quick. You reddish your weapon on hit target suffers a weapons attack plus additional damage because it's higher level. D8 fire damage to target hit, and then there's no additional targets, just the bear, right?
I mean that you can see right now.
Yeah.
I mean that's what you see. You see what you see.
So yeah, mace first. If it hits, version of mace. There it is.
That is not going to hit. That is not going to do it.
Yeah, she's panicking. She goes, ah! And she hits, and it hits the door frame. And
Okay.
That's it for her.
Alrighty. Then we're going to go to the door. The door shuffles out of the corner and menaces Cherie in the corner. It tries to slam closed on your fingers.
No.
Every malevolent door ever. 14 to hit you.
That'll miss.
Alright. It thumps angrily in your direction.
I always knew doors for the enemy.
The bearskin rug stretches wide. It is taller than even you, Zeke, as it stretches out to try and envelop you. But an 8 is going to more than miss. So as it does so, it's going to try and reach out and snap a bite in your direction. A 21 to bite.
Yes.
Alright, you get bitten for 12, reduced to 6 piercing damage by this bearskin rug. And we'll go to Cherie at the top of the turn order.
Swinging with advantage on that fucking green flame.
Yes, sir.
Flat.
15 will just hit, barely.
Oh. Thank fuck.
Regular dagger damage plus 7 fire. Very nice.
Scrape
Wait a minute.
Big mark from this door.
Did any of us?
What?
Sorry, did any of us acquire our things? Because I realize now that I don't believe Zashi could cast anything, right?
No, he gave all of your possessions to Cherie along with
Got
the
it.
package.
Okay.
Yeah, fire slams into the animated door, mantling it and blackening the wood as you stab right through the wood of it. It is strange. This door is just like free of its frame, just wobbling around like a ladder tottering from one side to the other as you punch through it.
Won't be keeping me out today. That's me.
All right. The door swings open. Zeke, you see a familiar, if unwelcome, face behind it. She is going to raise a purple hand, and 3 bolts of white force fire out at you as you are hit for 8 force damage by magic missile.
Alrighty. Can she see me through the big old bear rug?
She can see you beyond the big old bear rug, yes.
Okay, cool. 8, you said?
I said 8, yes, total.
Noted.
Lucelle. From behind you, you hear a creaking sound and then the sliding of dinnerware. You look behind you at the circular table in the center of the room as it uses its action to slide off the objects on it and animate.
Shit.
Zeke, you are on the other side of the bearskin rug. The door is closed. She has retreated from your sight. Would you like to do?
I'm going to move through the bear.
Okay, it takes 25 feet to get through the bear.
But just make sure when you finish start that document on like.
I will.
What did you find it? What time?
No, it was unclear. A bunch of them are on different days, and I don't know. You'd have to check yours, I think, if you can do that. Thank you.
Yeah, Annie.
Alright.
You need to get here.
Mm.
Just transfer it to the rest of that
Yep.
document. It might
Will
need
do.
to be using the
I know, I will.
today. I'll reward you $20.
Okay. Alrighty. Sorry about that. Yes. Move through.
Yep.
The.
Yeah,
So what is
25
that?
feet of movement to get through there.
Alright. So another 10, and then whack
Alright,
open the door.
as you step away from the bear, it does get another chance to envelop you. Is a 16 hit?
Yes.
Okay. So as you turn and try and step away from the bear, it reaches out and wraps its hairy arms around you and grapples you. While you are grappled in this way, you are also restrained. And you are pulled
Gosh,
into the
diddly
bear's
dang it.
space. Say what?
Gosh diddly dang it.
Because it is still your turn, though you are incapacitated, or not incapacitated, though you are restrained, you can still try and attack this thing or use your action to try and break this grapple.
I will use my action.
Okay?
Yes. So action.
Yes.
Advantage
Athletics.
because rage.
Yep. An 18 more than breaks free.
And I will move away because he's already done his thing.
Mhm.
And I'll move to the door and open it.
She goes, "Oh, in the bathroom!" And you see she is seated on the privy.
You know, the bathroom's the most dangerous room in the house, is what I hear.
The fact that Zeke knows that statistic, it seems perfectly reasonable to me. Alright, Zachi, you are concentrating on Witch Bolt. What would you like to do?
I would like to trigger it.
Okay, you use your action. You just straight up do damage to the bearskin rug. 11 more lightning damage into this creature. And you hear
Fuck
him.
you, bear. And now I'm gonna reposition so I can maybe hopefully see a person casting.
Okay.
And that is my
Okay, Lucelle.
Okay. The creature, the magical thing is currently busy enveloping Zeke, so it's can't
No.
really do.
Zeke broke out of it.
Oh.
It grabbed him for a moment, but he ripped free and kept charging forward.
Well, is it? I mean, is it making it so I can't get out of this room?
Alright.
You would need to use double movement to get out of the room, but you could get out.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Are you going
My plane is apparently a lot earlier than we were originally thought, so we'll have to go. Like, I can probably do this next turn, and that'll be it. I apologize.
That's okay.
Oh, you gotta run?
Yeah, I didn't realize I had to go right now. Yes, Mum, I got it.
No worries.
Um,
You run. We'll stop as soon as we get to the top of the turn order.
Sorry?
Go. I don't want to keep you. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Don't miss your flight because of this.
Yeah, but Zeke will just basically...
We'll stop before we get to your turn.
Okay.
We'll get it
Apologies,
from a fresh turn order.
folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you for the game, and I will
problem.
catch y'all later.
Go. Don't miss the plane.
Yeah, go. That's more important. It's just a game. We can pause.
Thanks for coming to play.
Bye.
Good shit.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Yeah, I actually gotta go help my focus stuff too. Bye, guys. Be right back.
Okay. We'll pick it up here next time then, and I'll give XP and all of that at that time.
Hell
Sound good?
fuck yeah.
Alrighty, then I'm gonna go and pee probably. I've got a full can of Monster sitting on my bladder. If anyone still wants to hang out or talk, then I'm back. I will be here momentarily.
Well, GG, everyone.
We survived. And thank fuck I slipped away, otherwise I might be a problem.
No, yeah, thank God.
I felt like a dick doing that, but I was like, I don't think you guys want me around for this situation.
It's probably good the game's ending earlier. I have Pride festivities tomorrow at noon.
Oh, nice. Going out for a
Yes, and
good march or a bar party?
well, I met a IRL streamer, and so me and him are gonna hang out at the Pride Parade because I don't think he's ever been.
That's gonna be a lot of fun for him.
Yeah, I mean his stream has taken to calling me his girlfriend and stuff, which is very funny to me.
That's adorable.
Yo.
But yeah, we just his chat really likes me because I don't take any shit, and he is kind of a lol cow in a way.
I mean, that's excellent.
Yeah, it works out. I'm gonna snipe all of his fucking views and become a streamer myself, I think.
Hey, I mean, that's what you gotta do. Become a streamer.
There's also nothing like more aggrandizing to my ego than like I get on stream and everybody's like, who's this hot girl?
Or to get a reputation.
I mean, I am pretty hot.
Mm-hmm.
Can't turn it off, you know?
It's true. It's true. Oh no, Gordon's redeeming all the hydrate. I'll drink all that. And I will also bid you good night, everyone on stream.